guys, welcome to another episode of Paradise's podcast. Just kidding, I have no idea what I'm calling this stuff yet, but as for now, it's just going to be Paradise's podcast because it is an alliteration and it sounds cool, so why not? So I had some time to look over the Google form and all of the responses that you guys gave, and I was blown away because I didn't think that many people were going to respond that quickly. So I was super excited about it, and I had to make this video to kind of go over some of the stuff that you guys talked about in your responses. So I was really excited to view all of it. And I did some extra research just to make sure I was answering all of your questions correctly and making sure that I had the proper information because nobody wants to spread the wrong info, right? The wrong news. So I'm going to go ahead and get into some of the responses, some of the questions that you guys answered. Before we go ahead and get into this video and I start explaining and discussing all of the questions that you guys asked me, I just kind of wanted to put a little disclaimer out there. This is not to scare you. You do not need to panic. We are fine. Everything's going to be okay. I just wanted to use this opportunity that we have right now to educate you guys on what's going around in our world and what's kind of happening. So please don't get worried because we're talking about this and we're investigating it. This is just to kind of see where we're at and see what we all are thinking. We're all in this together, and if we maintain the procedures that the government and our counties and our states have been putting in place for us, we will be just fine. So do not worry, do not panic. Everything's going to be okay. I just want to make sure that you guys know that before going into this video, when we start diving into some more deeper facts. In the future, we're going to talk about other stuff, not just coronavirus, so just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Before we just go ahead and jump into the responses to all of the questions that you guys asked, I want to state and clarify that I am not a doctor. Alright, I know that some of you refer to me as my name Dr. P, which I appreciate, but I am not an epidemiologist in the sense that I know all of the answers. I have not been one-on-one with the coronavirus. I don't know exactly what's going on. The only thing that I know is the information that's posted in these articles. Now, obviously, the articles that I'm getting my information from, I'm making sure that they are reliable sources, not like WikiLeaks or some weird, sketchy websites. So I'm not going to be transferring the wrong information to you, but I just want to make sure that you are aware that I am not a doctor or an epidemiologist, so please don't take offense if some of these things change in the next couple of days, because they might. We are learning more and more about this virus every single day, so every day we're getting new information. Just be aware that I'm giving you the information, but yes, this information might change. Yes, we might get better information or more results or more concrete ideas on what to do and how to solve this, okay? Just get that out there on the plate to start off. So one of the first questions, or one of the questions that I got a lot, was how is this going to affect schools, right? Obviously this is something that directly affects me and directly affects you because you are kids, students, and I'm a teacher, so this is going to affect how we do our jobs, right? Your job is to sit and learn and soak up all this new information, and my job is to teach you that information. So obviously I'm doing things like this to try and still get some information out there to you, still help you in your learning process, but schools are canceled. They are not on right now. We are currently in this period where we are social distancing, we are keeping away from other people, and that is something that is new for most of the people who are in schools nowadays. No one's really familiar with how this works. As I said in my other video, Wake County is working tirelessly to make sure that they figure out all of the answers to the questions that you asked. Another question that was asked was, why is it just showing up now? So viruses happen all the time, right? We get these new strands of viruses and constantly they're mutating and trying to adapt to be able to do what they do, which is infect people and animals and organisms and be able to transfer that virus and reproduce and replicate, right? So what's happening here and what we see with the coronavirus, the COVID-19, is that we originally had a virus that mutated itself into a specific way, and it just happened to mutate into itself into this specific COVID-19 virus that we're talking about now, which is causing it to replicate rapidly, transfer rapidly. Another question I got was, how long is this going to be going on? I cannot answer that question. The only thing that I can answer for you is that the more that we do, the more that we work to get the social distancing down, washing your hands, not touching your face, the more we can do those things, the faster this will pass. So as long as we're doing our part, this will go by fast. But there's no set time limit on it that we can say definitively that, oh, in 2 weeks it's going to be over. We can't really make a statement like that or a claim like that. Someone asked, it originated from an animal, can other animals get it? As of right now, there are no cases of other animals receiving or being infected from the coronavirus, the COVID-19. So don't have too much worry about your animals going outside and that kind of thing. Why is the economy collapsing was one of the questions that we got. Well, the economy is collapsing because people aren't spending money. Things aren't happening the way that they are used to happening. Travel is limited. People aren't driving around in their cars as much because school and works are canceled. So there's no need for gas. A lot of things are just dropping. And because of that, there's a lot of businesses that can't keep up with that. It's including people are getting laid off and fired from their jobs because the companies just can't support that many employees anymore. So this coronavirus is having a huge effect not only on just like the livelihood of people, but businesses worldwide are having struggles because they cannot afford to keep up the constant payments of like their bills and the resources that they need to get when nobody's coming in to buy the things that they normally buy. We'll be okay. The economy will come back. It always bounces back, so we're not really worried about that. Don't be too worried about that. Someone asked, why is everyone so freaked out? A few people asked that, actually. Why is everybody so freaked out? Why didn't people say to stay calm and everyone's, having this panic attacks? There's a couple reasons for that. First of all, when we see other people panicking, our initial instinct is to panic. So when we see people buying all this toilet paper in all the stores and buying all the food and, freaking out online and on Facebook and Twitter and going off, our initial instinct is to freak out as well, right? Also, another reason that people are panicking is because some people don't know the right information. They might be getting their information from news sources that aren't that reliable, that don't have that great of information that they're giving out, or maybe their information that they got isn't actually valid. So they're hearing misleading information, or they just don't understand it. The people who are hearing the news might not understand what this means. Some of the words or the terms that they use sound scary when they might not actually be as terrifying or scary as they seem. So it can cause some worrisome between people and the news and the media trying to combat that barrier there. There's actually a really great article on National Geographic that talks about why everyone is so panicked right now, and it discusses why we evolved to feel panic and anxiety when other people are exhibiting it in relation specifically to the coronavirus that we're having now. So you can check that out. It's really cool. I'll put the link in the Google Classroom so you guys can see that as well. Why is the coronavirus spreading so fast was another question that I got. So spreading so fast just because the symptoms actually are pretty mild. People originally may have gotten the coronavirus and not known that they had it. Most of the symptoms are going to be like cold, kind of like cold symptoms. You might have a fever and a dry cough, but nothing too alarming, nothing that's going to keep you bedridden. And people just kept going about their business and doing what they need to do. I think some people might not understand what the symptoms are, and so they just think, oh, well, I don't have the coronavirus because I'm still able to walk around and do what I normally do. And so because of that, they're constantly spreading it to other people. And then those people become carriers and spread it to the next person, the next person, the next person. That's why the social distancing is so important, because we need to make sure that we're staying away from people to prevent that transmission, right? And we're all doing a good job of that now. It's just in the beginning, before we knew a lot about it, nobody really knew what to look out for or what the symptoms were, so they weren't being careful. They were still traveling. They were still going to work, doing the normal things that they're supposed to do, right? Nobody really knew exactly what was going on. A lot of your concerns are valid, and they are things that we should be worried about and we should be looking for, but a lot of them are things that we have to trust in the people who are above us, like our government, our officials, the people making those big decisions, and they are doing everything they can to try and put everything in place to make sure that everybody is safe. School closing thoughts. I was really interested in this category and your responses on it. I got a lot of people who were really concerned and upset about school closing. A lot of people were saying that we're going to have to make up a lot of work, which we will when we go back. if we go back, if we do online schooling, or if we just end up going back to school, if everything gets cleaned up and fixed soon. So we don't really know what's going to happen, and that can be kind of scary, right? We don't know if we're going to go to online. We don't know if we're going to go back to school. We don't know what the new normal is going to be for us as teachers and as students in the school system. So that's something that, again, like I've said, we're just going to have to wait and see about, because we don't really have any control over what happens. We just need to have faith in the people that are making those decisions for us, that they know what they're doing. And they do, and they're taking every single angle into account when they make those decisions. A lot of you are saying you're missing friends, which can stink when you aren't able to see anybody, right? You're on this social distancing, so you're having to stay at home and you can't really interact with others. So it's hard to kind of not see friends, especially when you've been seeing them on a daily basis, and all of a sudden you're just cut off from that. So it can be pretty difficult, especially when you didn't even know it was going to happen, right? A lot of you said that it was smart to close schools, which I agree with. I do think it's very smart to make sure that we're closing these schools and we are keeping people away from work so that we can prevent the spread of the virus. It is extreme conditions that we are in, and we just want to go ahead and make sure that we are not having any risk of people getting it or spreading it. And so that's why we're taking such an aggressive leap with this, an aggressive solution to try and solve this problem. Some of the prevention things that you guys listed, there was about like 5 that were pretty much ubiquitous for all of your answers. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. Don't touch your face. Social distancing, covering your mouth when you have to cough or sneeze, and staying home from work or from school, right? So those things are all things that we should normally be doing when we're sick, right? That Mark Rober video that I shared to the Google Classroom he talked about in there touching your face, and he even showed an example of him trying not to touch his face and how, he accidentally did it and he didn't even notice it. So getting into the habit of practicing these things, this may have a really positive effect on our environment, because people might start getting into the habit of it now, and then it just carries on, and even after the pandemic is over, we might have some better, health that we're spreading around the world, which is, fantastic. If we can have any positives come out of this situation, those would be some of them, right? And some activity suggestions that you guys suggested for people to be doing were including FaceTime, which I think is a fantastic idea. Some of you guys were saying you were missing your friends, and I'm sure some of you have already taken on this and have already started to do this, but FaceTiming your friends to keep up with them, at least you can see them, kind of thing. It brings some familiarity into it, and it makes you feel less lonely and excluded and closed off from the rest of the world. Helping with the household chores, I know that sounds lame, and I know that sounds like, ugh, why would I want to help with chores? That's dumb. But you might need to know how to do these things one day, right? And now's a perfect time. You're quarantined with your parents, so you could ask them, hey, how do I do the laundry? What's the best way to do the dishes? How exactly do you fold a fitted sheet? Because I still don't know the answer to that one. So if you find out, let me know, because I'm pretty lost when it comes to that stuff. Yard work is another one, which kind of goes along with the chores, but I love doing yard work with my dad when I lived at home with my parents. I would always help him, with landscaping and cleaning up things, and it always made me feel really accomplished once I was finished, because you're kind of getting a workout in, because you're doing stuff outside, you might be getting a little sweaty, and you're making your yard look more beautiful, and it's really fun for me. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely see if your parents need any help around the yard. See if they can clean up, mow the lawn. It's very satisfying to see the type of work that you complete once you're done. I love when I mow the lawn, and right after I mow the lawn, I can see, or right when I first start, you can see the difference between the tall grass and the short grass, and it makes me be like, yeah, I did that. That's right. I cut that grass, and look at how nice my lawn looks. Yeah, I know you don't have a lawn. That's yours. It's like your family's, but still, same thing. You get it. Games, both online and board games. Don't do too much online gaming, because it just might rot your brain out, right? But do some board games with your family. Interact with some of your siblings, maybe. Just have a good balance of that. Don't do that all the time, because you're just gonna get bored, and it's just gonna get annoying and frustrating when you play some of those online games. I know how they can be. A lot of people said baking, which I was surprised about. I didn't know that you guys were such bakers. So if you're going to bake, please make sure you take pictures of all of your creations and let me know how they are. I would love to hear about them. They'll probably be delicious, and I wish I could eat them, but just, take a video of you eating them, and then I'll just, live vicariously through you eating your delicious foods. Make or watch DIY videos. So you can, a lot of you like to do slime, making, I've seen a lot of, friendship bracelet making, and I don't even know how to do that. So you could do some videos like that and post them or share them with your friends and learn how to do those different types of things. Right now, we're in a unique situation where we have the ability to kind of learn different things and learn different skills through the internet since we have all this time off. So take advantage of that time and try and learn some new skills. Drawing or painting, and you can always do that and do it outside because it's really nice out and the weather's beautiful for it. You can always paint pictures or draw pictures of Digsby. He always accepts them. He is very glad to have his fan art all on the walls. And then just the last one, go outside, go on a hike, ride a bike, take your dog Spike for a walk, whatever, it doesn't have to rhyme. You could do any of those things, but be outside, get some fresh air, just make sure you're maintaining that social distancing, right? That's about it for this video. I don't have anything else to talk about, but I do want to say that I did, if you haven't seen it already, which you probably have, I posted that Mark Rober video. It was really cool. I really enjoyed watching it, learning some things about it, and it was just really fun to see how he used it in a classroom, and he actually showed how the germs carry through classrooms, which is super cool, and you should get your parents to watch it too. It was really awesome. So being able to see that, that's a really cool video. Tomorrow I'm planning on having some more things for you guys to do, so I might be posting a video tomorrow, so keep updated with that. Refresh that page, right? You gotta smash that subscribe, like the flag or the check or whatever it is. Now I just sound really old, but make sure that you guys are keep looking out for updates that I'll be sending your way. Have a great day. Keep being awesome. Stay safe. Wash those hands, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.